Good morning, Taste Buds. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. I know you're getting ready for your big day of cooking and eating, but join me today as I look into the future and help you with great recipes for your leftovers. It's pre-leftovers today on SoFlo Taste. How fun is that? Good morning and happy Thanksgiving, y'all. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein, and I am here at the Goya Kitchen at J World in Coconut Creek. Have you ever thought you could be a television producer? Well, it's a pretty easy job after all. I mean, all you have to do is look at a calendar and tell me, your host, to make recipes for that season or holidays. So let me ask you a question to see if you could be a TV producer. Look at your calendar and guess what recipes I've been asked to make 5 days before Thanksgiving. Turkey? Gravy? Pumpkin pie? Nope. Today, in a twist from my production team, I'm making leftovers. At least what to do with the Thanksgiving leftovers you will have. And with ideas like that is why I say my production team is simply the best. Mwah. So let's get cooking, or let's get to using your leftovers even before you have them. So obviously this used to be a beautiful whole turkey. I cut it apart, took out some breast, took out some leg, and I have them in front of me because I'm gonna make a shepherd's pie. I love shepherd's pie. Why not make it out of turkey rather than either ground lamb or beef? Let's go ahead and start cooking the important part, the mirepoix, or the vegetables that go into this. So I'm gonna use a little bit of oil and a little bit of butter to cook our vegetables. I'm gonna go ahead and let the butter melt with the oil. We're gonna start cooking our onions. These are just some nice sweet onions, julienne, rather than cutting them all nice and small. I love to actually have the pieces of the julienne onion melting in my mouth. Some nice diced pieces of peeled carrots for sweetness and for crunch, and small little pieces of celery as well. For flavor, I have a little bit of minced garlic. I also have some peas I'll add in a minute, as well as some mushrooms, which, you know what, I'm just gonna add these in now. They're sliced up cremini mushrooms. Here I have the sliced out turkey breast. Everything has to be cut down a little bit smaller, because as you know, with any type of shepherd's pie, it has to be kind of tiny. So I already have a sliced breast. What I'm gonna do is then just cut it down into smaller pieces, and we can go even smaller after that. I like having a combination of white and dark meat with this. I just think it's a great way to use the whole bird. Now I'm cutting into the thigh. I want a little bit of that combination of breast and thigh meat. So we want everything to have a little bit of a crispiness to it because it is going to bake just a little bit further in the oven so that it all kind of warms together. And I can already smell the mushrooms cooking, which is always a good sign. So if you have mushroom gravy, you don't have to add mushrooms to this, obviously. But what we do have to do is start to season it, because the shepherd's pie has a lot of different ingredients layered up into it, and we really need every layer to have a good amount of flavor. The other part of this recipe that I'm using as leftovers, actually there's two more. I've got my gravy, which I decided to make a nice simple gravy this year. So I have my cold gravy. It was in my fridge. Now I used chicken feet this year because I went to Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, like I always do every year, to get my turkeys, and I asked them for chicken feet, which they have a lot of, which by the way makes the most beautiful gelatinous stock ever. I mean, I could use this as a bouncy ball for sure. This is beautiful, but it's still cold, obviously. I hope you got your Thanksgiving turkey from Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, because I always have, and I always do. I want to remind you to order early for the rest of your holiday dinner and party needs. Having a boat parade party, office party, call them for fabulous platters for your party or just for yourself. You can pick them up in store at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, or you can go to DelawareChicken.com, or you can call them at 954-983-6831. So many options. Place an order, tell them I sent you, and tell them I adore them. All right, so the next step in this is going to be adding this gravy. So let's go ahead and add the gravy to this. And I'm just going to let that warm through. And what's great about this is normally you have to thicken up your meat sauce for your shepherd's pie, but because I'm using gravy, obviously my gravy already has roux, which is our natural thickener of the flour and the butter. So this is already going to be really beautifully creamy. All right, so as that heats through, I'm going to go ahead and add the turkey to it. And it's beautifully glazy already. Now, of course I have leftover mashed potatoes. I made the mashed potatoes not as runny as I normally do because I wanted them to hold up and of course to have the gravy in the center of them, which is really the perfect consistency for a shepherd's pie. So this is what the potatoes are like. I'm going to add a little bit of herb. I've got some tarragon. Just so good on chicken and turkey and all kinds of different fowl. I've got some rosemary and thyme, which I'm just going to loosely cut up here. Just a little bit, like so. Add that to the mix. And one more time, we're going to season this. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and pour this into the bottom of a casserole dish. I'm going to layer on the potato and then I'm going to add some beautiful, just grated white cheddar on the top. I'll throw that in the oven. When you come back, I hope everything will be melted together. But remember, all my recipes, including this one, are available on the SoFlo Shows webpage. Just scan this quick response code and you're on your way to the fabulous SoFlo Shows page. You'll also see this QRC and the ingredient list throughout the show. So come right back for more leftover recipes. Can't wait till you do. I'm throwing in my peas and I'm going to start layering. See you in a few.
Chef Michelle has more from the Goya Kitchen at JA World. SoFlo Taste is back in 2.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste and my leftovers show. We Americans will gobble up 736 million pounds of turkey this Thanksgiving and about 50 million pumpkin pies. And if the pies are cut into 6 pieces each, that's 300 million slices, almost 1 slice for everyone in the country. And since I may eat 2 slices, I apologize in advance to the person whose piece I will be eating. Now back to the food. So we have our turkey shepherd's pie in the oven and we're almost there. I really just wanted to get a little more golden color on top, which will, I think, in about 30 seconds. So let's jump into the next recipe. Have you ever had a leftover Thanksgiving egg roll wrapped in crispy dough and hot and fried turkey and cranberry sauce in the middle? Absolutely. These are egg roll wrappers. I'm sorry I'm not making them fresh. I bought them. So put the diamond shape right in front of you, okay? I've got leftover turkey. I have some sweet potatoes that, okay, I did freshly bake these for y'all this morning, but we always make sweet potatoes during Thanksgiving. So let's pretend that these were one of the leftover ones, which I actually probably will already have eaten by the time it was the day after. So you can really cut this up in any old way. Let's just give it a couple slices. This can be very rustic. Nothing has to be perfect. So let's say for Thanksgiving you made some Brussels sprouts like we always do. Here's the cranberry sauce. I'm going to start out with some turkey, and in here is leg and breast meat turkey. I'm going to top that off with some of the cranberry sauce that I will be making for Thanksgiving, as well as, oh, and you can put your dressing or stuffing in here if you want to as well. Sweet potatoes, and then let's throw in a couple pieces of Brussels sprout because greens are always good. And if you have green beans that you're making instead, that would also be delicious. Really important to have a little bit of water nearby. Let's go ahead and wet the egg roll on the border all the way along the diamond. And let's roll her up. So we're going to start out by rolling the most important piece over, which is your first piece. To you, it's the furthest piece away from you, and start very kind of tightly yet gently rolling this up. When you're about halfway up the egg roll, fold in that side, fold in the other side, and then tightly and gently keep kind of making it really tight into a beautiful cylindrical egg roll. And there you have it. Okay, what I would do is, like what we do, put it on a piece of paper towel, throw this in your fridge, even in your freezer. It's up to you. You can eat these at another time if you wanted to, but let's go ahead and fry. So as you can see, I'm frying in a cast iron pan rather than a big deep pot. I don't think it's necessary to have a big deep pot to deep fry. I mean, obviously this is a little more than a shallow fry. This is kind of like between a shallow fry and a deep fryer. So I'm going to go ahead and fry. I don't want to crowd it, so I think I can go with about 5 pieces comfortably. Let's go and reach in and get our herder's pie. Oh, you're about to be very happy. As you see, I lined a little cookie sheet with foil so that all the goodness that runneth over touches the foil, which will be dumped into the garbage rather than dirty up a pan or your oven. So this is our gorgeous shepherd's or herder's pie of turkey. I mean, this is just going to be beautiful on your dinner table. Now this, before it's made, fully baked, it can be frozen. So you can actually set this up, wrap it up, throw it into your freezer, and whenever you're ready for it, you can jump in and bake that, and it will just be gorgeous as this one is. All right, so we have a couple minutes to fry up these beautiful egg rolls. So when you come back, we'll check on these. They should be nice and golden and crispy. And then of course, I've got another pre-leftover recipe in a moment. So come right back. We'll see what's cooking on SoFlo Taste right after this. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. We're here at JA World in Coconut Creek, a place dedicated to our children, but they have an annual event dedicated to adults. On Saturday, January 28th, 2023, the JA Circle of Wise Women presents JA World Uncorked. The 60,000 square feet of JA World will be transformed into one of the top Epicurean experiences in SoFlo. For ticket sponsorship opportunities and information, visit jasouthflorida.org/JA World Uncorked or call 954-979-7120. Now back to the leftovers. Very good. So look how beautiful the egg rolls turned out. They're beautifully crisp. Let's go ahead and cut one open. Gorgeous. So you have the turkey, the sweet potato, the Brussels sprout, and the cranberry. Now, if you're looking for a dipping sauce, I just happen to have one that you will definitely have in the next few days, gravy. Why not dip your egg roll into a bit of gravy? But make your gravy even better by adding a little bit of soy sauce. It might sound a little odd, but you know, all gravies need some type of sodium. Why not add a little bit of soy to your gravy, even if you don't make the egg rolls, because it gives them not only a beautiful rich color, it actually gives it the perfect amount of sodium that you would need for a delicious gravy. So there you have it. Let me show you what this shepherd's pie looks like on the inside. Let's go ahead and scoop in and take some of this glorious pie out of there. Just delicious. So we have obviously the cheesy mashed potato on the top, and then the creamy turkey filling with all those delicious vegetables. You cannot go wrong with this gorgeous turkey shepherd's pie. This looks like something that would work beautifully at our house. All right, so let's jump into our last recipe. I love chicken salad. I mean, I adore chicken salad. Why not turn your turkey into a really spectacular turkey salad? And I've decided on coming up with new little flavors, bits of flavors to add into this salad. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Again, for this one, you can either do turkey leftover breast, leg, or both mixed, chopped up nice and small. But first, we're gonna go ahead and make the mayonnaise mixture. So I'll take a spoonful of Dijon, or your favorite mustard, and my favorite mayonnaise. I love mayonnaise for chicken and turkey salad. I think it's perfect. So I have a couple of ingredients that I thought would be really fun in here. So I love dried cherries too, or dried cranberries, but dried cherries have this tartness to them that I just think are so delicious, so I'm using some of those. I can't have a chicken or turkey salad without some minced celery, a little bit of white onion instead of the yellow onion. To me, it's just a little more crisp. And then I've got some fresh squeezed lemon just to open up that flavor a little bit. Let's mix that together, but we can't forget the seasoning before we add the turkey, because once the turkey's in there, it's kind of hard to make it perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of kosher salt, some black pepper. Mix that together, and once this is really perfect, go ahead and add your turkey little by little. Now I've cut this turkey really small. The dark meat is cut a little bit finer than the breast meat on purpose, but you can really cut it however you like. I really love when everything is really tiny so you can feel all the crunchies of the veggies and the dried cherry. All right, so we decided on a couple of different sandwich buns. You can either go with this type of a beautiful little brioche, or we can do sliders. So let's go ahead and do little sliders, but before I do, there's two ingredients that I totally forgot that I wanted to add to my turkey salad. One is chopped tarragon. Now, chopped tarragon is something that a lot of people don't use a lot of. I feel like people use a lot of parsley, rosemary, thyme, but tarragon is something that's kind of forgotten. And when I smell tarragon, it makes me think of two things: poultry and mushrooms, because the marriage is so beautiful with both of those things. So I'm gonna add tarragon to my turkey salad because I don't think there's anything better, any herb that's better. And I feel like we should do a whole show dedicated to herbs and which herb goes with what either protein or vegetable, because it's really an important conversation. But this tarragon really just wakes up the poultry salad. The other thing I really wanted to add were fresh apples. We do have the dried cherries, but why not combine the cherry and the apple to make it even crispier? I've left the peel on. I don't think you need to peel it for this. I think it's kind of nice to have a peel on it. So let's cut it into nice chunky pieces so that we get a crisp, delicious, sweet, in this case, Honey Crisp apple. Granny Smiths would also go really beautifully in here, but it's a perfect time to bite into a Honey Crisp. Just like so. Beautiful. All right. Now we have a finished turkey salad. Sorry about that. Look how gorgeous this is. So I personally would eat this just like this or on some lettuce because I don't eat flour. But if you do eat sandwiches, I highly recommend a beautiful leaf lettuce like this one. And so what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna get these ready, I'm gonna cut them all in half. I'm gonna make a little bit more mayonnaise and mustard spread, and I'll spread them on these, and then we'll finish our sandwiches when you come right back. I'll finish this recipe right after this. Very good. So, welcome back to my leftovers show, finishing building the gorgeous turkey dried cherry and apple salad, of course. I put a little bit of extra mayo and Dijon on the cut slices of bread and some leaf lettuce to make a beautiful sandwich or slider. with a little pick. Yum. Well, did I take care of your leftover problems? These recipes are so good you may make their ingredients just to have leftovers. Next week, there's something fishy around here. We live in a fish-rich environment, and it's a shame if you don't take advantage of that. So next week, I'm giving you some of my best recipes for fish. So be here. Now let's sneak a peek in on the host of SoFlo Health, Hunter Frankie. Good morning, Hunter. What's up tomorrow on SoFlo Health?
Hey there, Michelle. Tomorrow on SoFlo Health, we head somewhere you've been before. It's Nouseberry Farm. Yep, it's that time of year for strawberries, tomatoes, fresh produce, and of course, cinnamon buns. Then we head to a place that's curating healthy classes for your kids. It's all on SoFlo Health tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on the one and only Local 10.
Thanks, Mr. Frankie. We will be watching. So Taste Buds, I give thanks for you taking the time to watching me on Saturday morning. So please be smart, be safe, and be vaccinated. And I'll see y'all here next week. And don't forget what this Thanksgiving holiday is all about. Goodbye, good taste, and happy Thanksgiving. Mwah. Happy Tea Day.